What in Ben Affleck's explosive courtroom testimony has pushed Diddy to the brink and sent Jennifer Lopez fleeing in the dead of night aboard a private jet? In a federal courtroom buzzing with anticipation where Sean Diddy Combs faces a series of deeply disturbing allegations, Ben Affleck arrived not as a Hollywood star or a former spouse, but as a witness armed with damning evidence. He carried a concealed notebook, a long-buried video, and details about a hidden tunnel beneath a notorious Bel Air estate, a place reportedly tied to unspeakable acts and vanished lives. And then came the shocker: Jennifer Lopez's name surfaced in the notebook. Was she an unwitting victim, or had she known more than she ever let on and chosen? Silence. Affleck didn't speak with emotion. He came with irrefutable proof. The impact was immediate. Diddy, enraged, slammed his fist on the table. Jennifer sat frozen, her head bowed, speechless. What could drive Ben to take this step, knowing the risks to his career, reputation, even his safety? What dark truths lie buried beneath the glamour of record deals, million-dollar parties, and a love story once idolized by the world? This trial is more than a legal battle. It's a war between truth and deception, between the man daring to reveal everything and those who believed their power made them untouchable. The full unraveling begins with Ben Affleck's testimony, and what he's revealed will change how you see Hollywood forever. I'm standing outside the Manhattan Federal Courthouse, where one of the most jaw-dropping trials in entertainment history just took a dramatic turn. Minutes ago, actor Ben Affleck exited the courthouse after delivering a bombshell testimony. His face was pale, eyes bloodshot. He refused to answer the flood of questions from waiting reporters inside. The atmosphere was electric. Not only did Affleck reveal criminal activity tied to Sean Diddy Combs, but he also dropped a chilling revelation. His ex-wife Jennifer Lopez is entangled in the web. It was a morning unlike any other, the courtroom air thick with tension, as the public's hunger for truth grew unbearable. Diddy, once the king of the music industry, now faces an avalanche of charges: human trafficking, assault, extortion, and laundering. What began as a headline turned into a courtroom reckoning, unraveling the secrets of the elite. No one could have predicted that the man who would rock the proceedings would be Ben Affleck himself. Oscar winner and once half of Hollywood's favorite couple, when he stepped onto the stand, his gaze was steady yet heavy with grief. He wasn't there just to take down Diddy. He was there to expose something heartbreaking about the woman he once called the love of his life. What would compel an A-list actor to risk it all, to stand against powerful figures and testify against someone he once adored? Was this a cry for justice, or the desperate act of a man betrayed beyond repair? The truth starts long before this trial in 2021, when Ben and Jennifer rekindled a romance. Nearly 20 years in the making, the world celebrated the return of Jennifer, Hollywood's golden couple. Ben believed he knew her completely, every smile, every secret, but perhaps he never truly saw the shadows behind her shine. She was once his everything, but as the glitz of red carpets faded, shadows began to seep in. Jennifer changed. She'd disappear into the night without explanation, her phone lighting up with cryptic alerts in the early hours, flashes of secrecy. She quickly silenced Ben, tried to brush off the growing unease, but each time he brought up her past with Diddy, her expression hardened, her smile turned forced. It's all in the past, Ben, she'd say, but her voice trembled as though shielding something too dark to name. Then came the night. Everything shifted. While Jennifer lay in a deep sleep, Ben received an anonymous email. Just a single sentence, but it felt like a knife to the gut. She never left Diddy. Check her phone. His hands trembled. His heart thudded like a warning drum. As he picked up Jennifer's phone, there it was, a message from an unlisted number. 200 a.m. usual spot. Don't let Affleck find out. Rage surged through him like wildfire. He called the number. On the other end came a smooth, icy voice. You digging into something you shouldn't. Ben, watch yourself or you'll bring the storm to your own door. It was Diddy from that night on. Ben noticed everything. Jennifer, pacing quietly in the living room late at night, as if checking or waiting for something. Once he heard a faint click beneath the floorboards. When he asked, she laughed it off and changed the subject. Still the doubt gnawed at him, eating away at the love he clung to. One fog-drenched night, Ben drove aimlessly on the edge of loss. Angelus's thoughts a storm of confusion. That's when his rearview mirror lit up, blinding headlights, a black SUV bearing down fast. Before he could react, bam, the SUV slammed into his car, metal screeching as glass exploded around him. His car spun, veering a frode, smoke curling into the sky. Blood dripped from his brow as he clutched the wheel, disoriented through the haze. He saw the SUV halt. A dark figure inside stared at him through the tinted window, cold still, then vanished into the night. The police called it a random hit and run. Ben knew better, reviewing his dashcam footage. He traced the SUV's plates linked to a shell company, a quiet tip arrived. Days later, the firm was tied to Diddy the Mogul's warning echoed, "You're bringing this on yourself," but things would only spiral darker days later. Ben's parents' Boston home was broken into furniture. Smashed walls vandalized in blood-red paint. One message screamed back at him, "Keep quiet or your family's next shaken." Ben stood among the ruins clutching a ripped family photo. Betrayal burning in his chest, he remembered a night Jennifer, half-drunk and mumbling, had whispered, "Diddy has a notebook, it holds everything." That sentence now felt like a curse. The trap was real, and tightening. Ben began following Jennifer night after night. Always slipping away, always heading to the same place, a rundown industrial site at the city's edge. One moonlit evening, he followed her inside. She met a tall, commanding man. Ben recognized the voice that followed. Icy calculated it was Diddy. Hidden behind crates, Ben held his breath as Diddy's gaze swept the shadows, almost sensing him there. Ben barely escaped undetected, but his determination was locked in. He had to know the truth. He tore through their shared home, searching like a ghost in his own life. Then beneath a living room floorboard he found it. A hidden tunnel. The air was stale, thick with rot. Flashlight shaking, he descended. Concrete walls closed in like a tomb. At the end, a hidden room. Cameras, lighting rigs, a massive safe. Ben cracked it open, heart pounding. Inside was the notebook, not just a list, but a disturbing ledger. It detailed the infamous freak-off parties, abuse, trafficking, depravity, names of celebrities, payouts to officials, charities used as cover, elaborate money laundering routes. Every page colder than the last. Then came something worse. Notes scribbled in Jennifer's handwriting: "Make sure everyone stays quiet. Move the package through the fund." What package? What silence? Ben couldn't say, but every word drove a knife deeper into his trust. Inside the safe, Ben found more than pages, a hard drive. When he plugged it into his laptop, a short video blinked to life. The room was dimly lit, pulsing with chaotic music. In the footage, a woman bearing an unmistakable resemblance to Jennifer Lopez stood beside Diddy, her expression cold and unreadable. A terrified young girl appeared in the frame, and then the screen went black. Ben sat frozen, shaken to his core. The woman he once loved didn't just deceive him, she was tangled in horrors he could hardly comprehend. Still searching for answers, he rifled through her desk drawers. Hidden deep inside was an old phone, and one unsent message stopped his breath. Shine took the fall. We're safe now. Suddenly it all came rushing back. The infamous 1999 nightclub shooting. Ben remembered how Shine, a young rapper, served 10 years in prison for that night. Digging deeper, Ben consulted archived reports and a discreet investigative journalist. He learned that Jennifer had been arrested with Diddy that same night, but walked free after vouching for his innocence. The shooting victim, Natania Rubin, had always insisted it was Diddy who pulled the trigger. And now a chilling rumor surfaced: Jennifer may have smuggled the weapon into the club herself. Ben's hands shook as he uncovered yet another bombshell, a marriage certificate dated 1999, Jennifer Lopez and Sean Diddy Combs. This wasn't romance, it was strategy. A legal move to shield her from testifying, cloaked in spousal privilege, and worse, buried in that tunnel, the guns were registered under Ben's name, a setup, a trap. Swallowing his heartbreak, Ben forced himself into action. He cataloged everything: the notebook, the hard drive, the burner phone. He backed up every piece and secured them in multiple locations. Still, each night he lay awake, grief tearing at him, the weight of betrayal dragging him down. He wasn't just up against one man. Diddy was the epicenter of a sprawling web with tendrils wrapped around celebrities, lawyers, even government agencies. Taking him down could trigger consequences far beyond Ben's life. He was reminded of those threats: the SUV that nearly killed him, the break-in at his parents' home, and the blood-red warning on the wall: keep quiet or your family's next. But then a spark of hope. Cassie Ventura, Diddy's ex, took the witness stand. Her voice cracked as she revealed years of abuse and control. She described the infamous freak-off parties where she was forced to engage with strangers while Diddy watched. "He controlled everything, even my soul," she sobbed, and then she said it: Jennifer was there, she knew everything. Her words struck like thunder. Still, Ben clung to the last shred of hope, that Jennifer wasn't fully part of the darkness, but deep down he knew better. He delivered the evidence, the notebook, the hard drive, the phone, to the FBI. Yet he withheld one final secret: the 1999 marriage certificate. It was his last card, the piece that confirmed Jennifer's role in shielding Diddy. He held it in his hands, feeling as if it burned in court. Ben finally spoke. His voice shook, but it held. He described everything: the crash, the tunnel, the horrors detailed in the notebook. He presented messages showing Jennifer helped smuggle a weapon into the nightclub, then framed Shine. And finally he raised the marriage certificate, the ultimate proof of legal collusion. "I loved her once," Ben said, his eyes locked on Jennifer, now pale and silent in the courtroom gallery, "but she chose to stand with the devil." The courtroom erupted. Diddy's attorneys leaped up, yelling that Ben was lying, a jilted ex, spinning revenge. They demanded his testimony be thrown out, branding it pure fabrication, but the judge, moved by the depth and precision of Ben's evidence, made two immediate rulings: the FBI would search Ben's mansion to confirm the existence of the tunnel. The 1999 nightclub case would be reopened with Jennifer Lopez now a key figure, and urgent subpoena was issued. Jennifer was ordered to appear, but hours later she vanished. Jennifer Lopez disappeared without a trace. She skipped all public appearances. Her Beverly Hills mansion sat eerily abandoned, windows caked in dust. Rumors swirled she'd fled to a country with no extradition treaty, taking millions to live in silence. Meanwhile, Diddy remained seated in court, calm, watching, his lips curled in a quiet smirk, like a man who still held cards no one had seen. The public erupted with questions. Was Jennifer a victim? Or a willing accomplice? Was Diddy truly the kingpin, or just a front for an even darker force? And why did Ben Affleck, a man who'd once turned from the spotlight, risk everything to bring them down? And above all, does justice truly stand a chance against power? This corrupt Ben Affleck, betrayed, threatened, hunted, has now become the unshakable face of courage. Despite the danger, he chose to fight, not only for himself, but for the many victims left behind. Shine, who lost a decade of his life. Cassie, who lived in shadows, and countless others swallowed by silence. This isn't just a Hollywood scandal, it's a reckoning, and yet one question refuses to die: will justice win? Where is Jennifer Lopez? What truths remain buried? And will Ben become the man who finally tears down the empire built on lies? One thing is certain: the fire of justice has been lit, and it's coming for every secret.